What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Goat Talk. I know it's been a while since we filmed, but don't worry, we're back. We've just been very busy.
Woo.
We haven't forgot about you guys. We got a lot to cover tonight, so let's get right into it.
Let's go right into so Chris Sims came out with his top 40 QB list. Let's run through this real quick. I'll run through 40 through 1 just quickly, and then we'll get into some thoughts on the list. So at 40, we got Drew Lock, 39, Kenny Pickett, 38, Teddy Bridgewater, 37, Minshew, 36, Tyrod, 35, Davis Mills. They're sleeping on the boy. 34, Tyler Huntley, 33, my guy, ex-Jet, Geno Smith, another ex-Jet at 32, Sam Darnold. 31, Trey Lance, 30, Jared Goff. Then we got 29, Tua, 28, Marcus Mariota, 27, Mitch Trubisky, 26, Jameis, 25, Jalen Hurts, 24, Trevor Lawrence, 23, Justin Fields, 22, Zach Wilson, 21, Daniel Jones, and then number 20, Jimmy Garoppolo. 19, Carson Wentz, 18, Mac Jones, 17, Baker, 16, Kirk Cousins, 15, Ryan Tannehill, 14, Matt Ryan, 13, don't even want to say his name, guy's a joke, Deshaun Watson, 12, Kyler Murray, 11, Derek Carr, 10, Lamar, 9, Dak, 8, TB, 12, number 7, Russell Wilson, 6, Matt Stafford, your Super Bowl champion quarterback, 5, A. Rodgers, 4, Joe Burrow, 3, Justin Herbert, 2, Pat Mahomes.
Say it.
And number 1.
Say it.
Number 1, Josh Allen.
Yes, sir. Dog.
Kind of crazy. It's got to be the hands or maybe the legs.
Yeah, nah, the way he looks in shorts, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know. It honestly, what won me over, I think, was his LaGuardia Airport review. They asked, what do you think of it? He goes, it's okay. I think that's what won me, you know?
Yeah.
Joe's like, that's my QB.
Dude.
Franchise QB right
Once
there.
Barstool released that whole draft, JoshAllen.com thing, everything, I was sold. I was like,
yeah.
need him.
Yeah. But what do you think? What do you think puts Josh Allen now over Pat Mahomes?
Man, I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys could take this one. I'm very biased. I think everybody knows if you watch us, I'm not gonna ever say Mahomes is better than Allen. But I actually want to know, Jets fan, from your perspective, on why you think Josh Allen was over Mahomes. Because we verse you guys twice a year. You know our team. You know Allen. I want to see your perspective.
So I could see why Chris Sims did that. I mean, I don't agree with Josh Allen being 1 yet. I do think, yes, he's top 5. Guy's just an animal. I can't deny it. As much as I hate the Bills, and Joey knows I hate the Bills, I can't deny it. Guy's great. But I see why Chris Sims did it. He put him over Mahomes. It's just because his rushing upside. I think I looked at it before. I think Josh Allen was 3rd behind Jalen Hurts and Lamar for rushing yards as a quarterback. And the next closest was 300 yards below them. And them 3 were all close. So I could see the rushing upside. And his passing numbers, they were good. I mean, I don't think they were as good as some of the other top guys on the list. But his passing numbers were very good. Like, again, his rushing numbers were great. He is a top 5 quarterback in the league, but I do not think he's 1. I would still put, as of right now, I mean, I think Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers right now are still better than Josh Allen, in my opinion.
I want to know, like, how this list, like, how he went about this. Because, I mean, like, it's got to be about what he expects from the upcoming season. Like, how did he go about this? Because you got Kenny Pickett at 39. Man's never played a snap in the NFL.
Drew Lock.
And Drew Lock's probably going to start the season.
Exactly. And Geno Smith is 7 spots ahead of him on the same team.
I think that Geno should be the starter, 100%.
Over Drew Lock?
Yeah, Drew Lock sucks. He's horrible.
You think he's worse than Geno Smith?
Yes.
Dude, Geno, baby. You can't sleep on my boy Geno.
Oh, my God. Dude, Drew Lock's not a bad quarterback. He's not.
I mean, I don't know all the numbers on Drew Lock.
Look at the numbers when he was in Denver. I don't think he was that bad of a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Geno Smith. I'm surprised Geno's still in the league. That man's still grinding.
Yeah, me too.
I'm surprised. Coming from a Jet fan.
That man's
Right above Geno, you got the boy Darnold in Carolina. See Robbie Anderson. He's
Think about
talking
retiring.
about retirement. He just can't get away from
Yeah,
it.
bro, where did that come from? That was so
One
random.
of
the
the Bluey
Sun guy,
tweeted
bro.
about
I
it.
was like, what happened right
weird.
there? I think I thought someone else came out and said they were thinking about that too. It's just been so random, and like all the sit outs of minicamp and everything have also been so random. But I mean,
don't
like
even pay attention to right now.
staying on like the list because like going a little off track, but Herbert and Burrow. You got Herbert at 3, Burrow at 4, over Rodgers, over Stafford, over Brady. Do you agree with that? Do you not agree with that?
Not at all.
No, I'm sorry,
Not at
but
all.
just looking again, coming from a Jets fan, so this is a very unbiased opinion because I dislike Tom Brady more than anybody I think ever has disliked an NFL quarterback, and I don't even know how Tom Brady's below Russell Wilson at this point.
Me neither.
Tom, I don't know if you're. Everyone's been talking about Tom Brady regressing every single year since he's probably turned 36, and now he's in his 40s.
It just hasn't happened.
And what last year he led the league in passing yards and touchdowns. Like he threw for 5,300 yards last year, 43 touchdowns and 12 picks on 67.5% passing completion percentage. Like the man's still a beast, and he still went out and won a couple playoff games.
Yeah.
So the guy still got it, and to put him over somebody, and Russell Wilson, another guy, very good quarterback, but he hasn't been really the Russell Wilson we've known over the past few years.
He gets his first half of the year.
Oh yeah, he's
where
MVP,
he's MVP
weeks 1 through
candidate,
7. He's an MVP candidate, and after
But
that,
after
no one
that,
talks
it's
about
like
him.
So
They
it's since they went to Super Bowl, he like kind of.
But again,
fell off.
his numbers are just not that. I mean, he missed a couple games. I think he played in like 13 games last year or something like that. I mean, 25 touchdowns, 6 picks, 64% completion percentage, 3,100 yards. Like, very underwhelming numbers, especially compared to Brady, still leading the league in touchdowns and yards. Like, I mean, I wouldn't put Brady number 1 right now. I think
No.
Aaron Rodgers has got, in my mind, Aaron Rodgers has got that spot right now. And this is no knock to Herbert or Burrow, but I just don't think. I think Burrow and Herbert still got to earn their stripes a little more to be
I 100%
talked about
agree.
over Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
I do think that Herbert is a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow did
Yeah.
obviously make it to the Super Bowl, so like he earned respect from that.
Yes.
I just think that he's a little overhyped when it comes to like this the top of the top for quarterbacks. I think he's like the top of that next group.
Yeah.
Like he sticks out in that next group, but I don't think you can put him in like the top of the top with like Josh Allen, Mahomes,
No.
Rodgers.
Definitely
Brady.
not. You're not putting them in that group
Even
yet.
Stafford, I'm not. Like,
I mean, I think Herbert and Burrow are very close to each other.
yeah.
They're very close to each other. I don't think I'm putting them 3 and 4 yet in the league.
No, I'm
I
not
don't
putting
think
him
they've
3
proved
and
enough
4, but I agree with Herbert being above Burrow.
The one
I'm
thing,
not taking anything away from Burrow and his talent and everything. He's a great quarterback, but in my opinion, Bengals do not come close to the AFC Championship again.
Oh, I think that was a fluke too.
Dude, I honestly, it's a bold statement. You hear it first. They might not make the playoffs.
Could happen.
I mean,
that's my
football is the one
bold
sport that happens
prediction.
a lot. I feel like too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
teams just disappear from
also,
one year
if
to another.
You just go and look at. I mean, we've discussed this before. You go and look at that division. Pat Mahomes, they're not like a lock to make the playoffs, but you know they're probably gonna make the playoffs. The Chiefs, right?
That's not their division.
Yeah.
No. I know that's not Burrows, but you go to that division, right? He's probably making the playoffs. Herbert has the same exact offense. They're probably gonna get better, right? I don't see them
I mean,
regressing.
dude,
They
that
could
division is
win that
Yes,
division.
that's what I'm saying. Because then you got Russell Wilson. I almost said Westbrook. Russell Wilson now in that division, and replacing what was it? Bridgewater and Drew Lock were the quarterbacks before that.
Yes.
And they were still not even like a horrible team last year. So
They have
I
a good
think they have a
offense.
chance to make the playoffs. And then you add Devontae to fucking
Vegas,
to Vegas. Like that's a division where you could see 3 teams making the playoffs,
And
then you could
that's
see
the best
like
quarterback
Burrow and
division.
them.
That's the best quarterback division
Nah.
like almost ever.
Yeah,
Like that is
absolutely.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That division's crazy with quarterback.
Like, just think about it. Like, if your team, say the Bills didn't have Josh Allen, right, and they were like, all right, you have a really good chance to win a Super Bowl this year, and say like the Jets did too.
yeah.
Look at that list. Who are you taking as your quarterback? If you say you couldn't have Josh Allen, obviously you don't want fucking what's his name, right? Say you could pick anybody. You couldn't have.
I
Josh
could pick
Allen.
anybody on this list.
Who
right
are you
now.
taking?
I mean, I'm biased towards Aaron Rodgers. That's my boy. I think Aaron Rodgers he's skill wise, he's probably the best quarterback of all time when it comes to straight up talent, arm talent, and he's unreal. And his numbers year in and year out are they're just video game numbers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't understand why we're having Herbert and Burrow above him and Tom Brady, because I would take him or Tom Brady. Like, probably one. It would probably be Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady for me. And, like, that's who I'm taking those three. Well, I'm saying in your case you can't have Josh Allen, so I was kind of thinking that.
This question's impossible because I can't have Josh Allen.
Well,
there's no one else I want.
It's not even about that, though. It's more about, like, the Herbert and Burrow being above Rodgers.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't agree with that.
You
Absolutely.
said you would probably take Stafford over
I'm
him,
a big Stafford fan. I would absolutely take Stafford over Herbert and Burrow. The man hasn't been in Detroit his whole career. And he's been tortured his whole career. He never got the recognition that he deserved. He never got any credit. He leaves Detroit for 1 year, and he's fucking hosting the Lombardi.
Oh, yeah.
He is a great quarterback that never got any credit that he deserved. I'm a big Stafford fan.
Yeah.
So I think we all agree that we think he's too low on this list.
I think he should be higher than
like
6.
He's 6, but if you go, like, it would probably be like.
Actually,
in my opinion, I think I think the list has to be. I think I think his spot is right around where he should be. I think the list should be.
Yeah, the list should be different, but I would put him up one.
I would keep him at 6, but change the first 5. Actually,
no, I would.
He would be 5.
Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen, Brady.
Yeah, he would be 5
for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I could agree with that too. I honestly could agree with that too. Yeah. But one thing, going back to the Burrow versus Herbert conversation, one thing I do have to defend Burrow on, because they had pretty similar numbers last year. I think Herbert just threw for more yards pretty much and for more touchdowns. He had one more interception than Burrow, but Burrow had a 70% completion percentage, which led the league. Very impressive.
Yeah, that's very good.
Led the league.
Very good receiving core.
Yeah.
Too.
This stat jumped out to me, and I mean, this goes to an O-line trouble. The Bengals. Burrow was sacked the most in the league last year out of any. Well, he was tied with I think Zach Wilson, but yeah, but he had one of the worst O-lines last year in the league. Like, just going to sack percentage, so the percentage of snaps Burrow was sacked on was 9% of the time. Justin Herbert was sacked 4.4% of the time. Like, it's. I think I'm taking. I think I'm taking Herbert over Burrow, but that's just a little defense on Burrow's behalf.
Yeah.
I think everybody knew last year that the Bengals had the worst offense line in football.
I probably agree with you taking Herbert over Burrow. I
I'm
think Herbert
over Burrow.
I don't think he's like a skilled runner, but I think he has a little more upside running wise. I don't think Burrow has like any.
Burrow has concrete on his feet.
Burrow's like, you're seeing his over-unders at like 2 yards. Like, at least Herbert's is
I think
around
Herbert
like
was
10
actually.
yards,
I think Herbert was actually only like. He was like 30 yards or 40 yards below Mahomes in rushing yards last year.
Yeah.
He was pretty close. It surprised me, too, when I was looking at the numbers.
Now, this one kind of surprised me. Last year's rookie class, right? So you have Davis Mills, Lawrence Fields, Zach Wilson. To see Davis Mills below all of them, like, are you surprised about that?
I don't think I'm surprised that he's below that rookie class. I'm surprised that he's below Tyler Huntley, Geno Smith. I don't see. So you have him at 35 on this list. I'm putting him above Huntley. I'm putting him above Geno Smith. I'm putting him above Sam Darnold. Not career-wise, just as of now, I'm putting him above Trey Lance because that man has not played one snap in the NFL.
One that's.
I'm putting him
above Goff.
I'm putting him
above Goff and Tua.
I'm not putting him above Goff. I'm putting him
horrible.
above Mariota because I think Mariota's too high.
I think 2 is too high, too.
I think 2 is too high, too. I think he's fucking dog shit. I'm taking Davis Mills from 35 and basically putting him at 30 because I think Jared Goff should be above Mariota.
So you think that Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Lawrence are all better quarterbacks than him?
Yes.
Same with you?
Yes.
I mean, based off, like, because all these guys have played, like, 1 year in the league, right? Besides Daniel Jones, he's, like, 4 or 5 years in. But like based off, like I didn't even know who Davis Mills was until he came in the league, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this guy's starting now because Deshaun Watson can't play." And I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Well, that's why like the thing that's like crazy to me is like Trey Lance at 31, Kenny Pickett at 39. They haven't played an NFL snap. How are they like?
Trey Lance is just getting so much heat, like
Which I think
honestly,
he's gonna have a great career. I do, but I don't think he should be at 31 when he hasn't played a snap. It should be Pickett at 40 and Trey Lance at 30.
I agree with that because he's obviously basing it off what he thinks this season is gonna go like. So he thinks that Trey Lance is gonna be a good quarterback. Obviously, he doesn't think he's gonna be the starter because there's Jimmy G at 20, which I think is fucking horrible. Like Jimmy G is like a serviceable quarterback, but like I'd take my chance throwing like Trevor Lawrence in there over him. So I think I would put like Lawrence in that field above Jimmy G. Jimmy G, like I said, he's not horrible. I'm kind of a Jimmy G hater.
Yeah, I'm a Jimmy G hater too.
I think Jimmy G's a winner.
I mean, he is a winner, but he was also put onto a winning team.
I just think that whole probably
And
like
now,
that whole like 17 to like 25 range. I think that you could mix and match that any way you want.
I think
really
go
could.
higher. I think Kirk at 16. Honestly, I think that's too low for him. A lot of people, you can hate on Kirk all you want. A lot of people hate on Kirk. His stats are ridiculous.
Yeah, like
if you look at them.
When you said like Aaron Rodgers, oh my God, 37-4. You know what his were? He was like 33-7.
His stats are crazy. I'm taking. I think Ryan Tannehill's too high.
Ryan Tannehill.
I think.
Okay.
I
Kirk
think he
Cousins
should definitely be
should
down.
be above
He's
Ryan
above
Tannehill
Matt
and
Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
I'm taking him above Matt Ryan.
Wait, Deshaun, he hasn't played in a year or two?
Yeah.
If Deshaun's back to form, I would have him up there at probably number 5, and then Stafford stay 6. If he was in Deshaun form.
I'm
But we all know
honestly
he probably won't even play this year. So
again, this kind of goes back to the whole Davis Mills thing. 'Cause like the numbers are all messed up, so I wouldn't put him this high number wise. But I honestly think I'd put Kirk over Derek Carr.
Derek Carr I feel like is also underrated.
I think now with
I think Kirk should be
Devontae
high. I think
is
Kirk should definitely be higher up. He should be right around Derek Carr.
yeah.
But
Which
I mean-
honestly, I would put Kyler Murray over Derek Carr probably. I would switch Lamar and Dak. Like there's a lot of shit I would do to this list, honestly.
I mean,
I
just
honestly
going to
don't
the top
Dak's
5.
up
I
to
think the biggest biggest surprise on the list is Tom Brady being 8.
I mean, yeah,
that
Chris Sims he's got to say that like the Bucks and Brady are just gonna have a good year, but not a great year if he's basing it off this season.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to look at Brady. Just doesn't age, man.
I know.
Dude, the man's 40. What is he now?
43, 44.
Yeah, dude, he led the league in yards and touchdowns last year. Like the man's still obviously
He don't miss.
The guy's still got it, and you're disrespecting him, putting him below Russell Wilson, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I think that Fields over like Lawrence and Hurts, and even Jameis is just kind of like crazy to me because that team's still horrible.
I think Hurts is too low.
I agree. I think Fields is way too high. Like I don't think he's bad, but that team's just that team is horrible. So I don't see him doing good because he didn't do good last year and they were horrible last year.
I'm putting Hurts over Lawrence, over Fields, over Wilson. Him and Daniel Jones are close.
Daniel Jones has like those flashes where you're like, oh,
He has like
and then
potential.
and then he just gets like touched on the helmet and he's like going like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, it's made of glass.
Yeah, so he's over Lawrence. In my opinion, I'm putting him over Lawrence for now. Fields, Wilson, Daniel Jones.
And like
I would keep him below Jimmy G.
Yeah, but I would put
opinion.
him. I would rather have him than Carson Wentz.
He just bolstered his receiving core by a shit ton too.
Yeah,
You
I mean, I
bring
keep
in
forgetting we're
AJ
talking about.
Brown.
I'm just talking
Yeah.
about my opinion, but like, yeah, if Jalen Hurts comes out and throws for 40 touchdowns next year and rushes for 1,000, has one of the best QB, yeah, he's gonna jump up the list probably to the top 5.
Yeah. I'm just happy that my boy T-Time, Tyrod Taylor, just made the list.
Yeah,
I'm happy he's
36.
on the
Bro.
list.
I
love
honestly,
Tyrod.
I'd be mad if Daniel Jones just sucks. Like I'm not mad having him come in as my starter.
Wow.
Tyrod's a dog.
Beautiful.
He's a dog.
Beautiful deep ball.
You're stuck now, you dumb.
I admit, I love Tyrod. Tyrod walked so Josh Allen could run.
yeah, literally. Well, Tyrod was the Bills' quarterback your first like playoff season back, right? Like
The first time we made the playoffs in 20 years, he
yeah.
led us there.
I remember that year. That was Rex Ryan was your coach still?
No, we had McDermott.
Oh, okay.
And then they go, hey, you know what? Let's put this guy in, and his name happens to be Nate Peterman. That worked out great.
Nate Peterman, that was where is he on this list?
Yeah, right. Probably 41.
Nate Peterman's like 99. They can find other guys.
If he was on this list, I would never watch football again.
I think Mark Sanchez is still over him.
Yeah, literally. Oh my god.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up the top 40 QB list.
I think that does it for that. I think we gave it a serviceable amount of time. Kind of went off on a couple things there.
So switch sports real quick.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go into the finals, which actually are on right now. What's the score?
Oh my gosh! So the Warriors won the finals.
15. It's 15 points.
15 points can change, especially in today's NBA. That could change.
They were down 15 at the beginning of the game. But yeah, NBA finals right now. While we're recording this, Game 6 is on. Warriors are up 3-2. We just said they're up by 15 points in the third quarter, probably like the middle of the third. First, who do you guys from each side who do you think deserves MVP? If, say, Boston wins, who deserves it there? The Warriors win, who deserves it there?
I mean, I would be shocked if Boston wins.
Yeah, but we'll go Boston first since they're probably going to lose. Yeah. It's got to be the boy Tatum.
I don't see how you give it to anyone else besides.
And that man, just going a little off topic of that question a little bit, but Jason Tatum, Jason Tatum has really solidified himself as like top player in this league just from this year's playoffs.
He's borderline getting to that unguardable spot like KD.
Yeah, dude,
like
he is
turning.
He's
into
unbelievable,
KD,
dude, and going all the way to the finals this year. Even if they lose to the Warriors, which they probably will.
We have their stats here, right? Tatum's averaging 23, 7.6, 7, 0.8 steals. If you look, his plus minus is minus.
Yeah,
not really like that big of a deal because he is their best player. I was saying before you got here, the only way I could see them giving that, if, say, the Celtics somehow won, right? Only way I see them giving that MVP to either Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart is if they carried these last two games. So, say Game 6 and 7, Jaylen Brown averaged like 35 those two games, right?
Oh, yeah,
and like,
definitely.
And then the same as he's been. I would say, like, yeah, he deserves it. Or say Marcus Smart, who's guarding Curry most of the time, goes and averages, like, 25, 30 points, like, has, like, 5 steals each game, like, just goes off. That's the only way I could see him giving it to anybody other than Tatum from the Celtics. I think we just said the score. We all think the Warriors are going to win.
Yeah.
I really, unless Wiggins somehow dropped 80 points this game, I couldn't see them giving it to anybody but Steph. Because you look here, Steph's averaging 30. This series, Wiggins averaging 18.4. The rebounds obviously are in Wiggins' favor, 9.4 to Curry, almost 6.
Yeah.
The steals, I don't think I put assists there instead of steals, but 2-1. Both have really good plus minus. The only thing Wiggins has on Curry is he is guarding Tatum. And to keep Tatum to an average of 23 points when I think he should be averaging around 30 is pretty good. But I just don't see them, like I said, unless
Wiggins is another player that
Wiggins
this year and
good.
this year's playoffs, like he really solidified himself. Like he's not a Tatum type player.
No, not at all.
But he really he could be an asset on a very good team.
This is his first playoffs too.
Yeah,
like he's never gone this far.
All-Star game.
Never gone this far into a playoffs, and he is proving himself against a top player in the league.
He was with Minnesota, so like they weren't going anywhere.
Like I think they made the playoffs once and they got bounced right away.
I didn't put his stats down here. The only other person I could see it would be Clay, but he again would have to drop. He would have to have a Game 6 Clay game where he has like 60 points, like a quarter, like he had that one time where he had 39. Like he would have to do that for me to be like, all right, Clay deserves MVP. But like I said, I think you guys both agree with me. There's just no way you can give it to anybody but Steph here.
No,
the Warriors win.
No, when they're probably going to win this game, in my opinion. I mean, I hope it goes to Game 7 just because Game 7s are fun, especially when you're not a fan of either team. But
yeah, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think
if Boston comes back to win and force Game 7, that'd be pretty sick. But then they got to go into Golden State to beat them in 7. Dude, if Boston wins, give MVP to Deuce. That man's a stud. That kid is a stud. I'd give it to him.
Anything else to add on like the MVP wise?
No, I think Steph has got it.
Yeah,
no matter what.
I think it's pretty solidified.
Yeah.
If they end up winning this game tonight, right, and he gets the MVP for the finals, are you putting him up there with all-time greats, like best point guard ever?
He's got to be somewhat in the conversation.
I mean, I already think he is in the conversation for. I wouldn't like put him top 10. I don't think, but I think he's like top 15, top 20 all time.
I think he moves into top 10.
Oh,
if he goes in MVP.
Oh yeah, because that's the one thing holding him back. And this man, besides all the numbers and stuff and the championships, this man changed the game.
Yeah.
He changed the point guard position where everyone plays like Steph now. Like the guys coming up, that's the guy they look up to now. He literally changed the whole game because no one's ever seen someone that can come into a game and hit 6 threes in a row from 10 feet behind the line. Like it's ridiculous. Like it really is. What he does is ridiculous. And he's probably one of the most controversial players out there. I feel like it's no reason. A lot of people hate him.
A lot of people hate on him because he's not a two-way player. He doesn't have. I mean, he's improved his defense a lot this year, but in years past, like you always saw Clay guarding the number one. Like against all the times against Kyrie, Clay's guarding him. All the times, like any big games they're in, it was always Clay guarding that one guard or whoever was like their go-to point guard, whatever it was. So that's a lot of people hound him for his defense, which I get, but at the same time, like the man's giving you in those fucking finals, he's giving you like 30, 40 a game. Like that was peak Steph. Like Steph, like now he's still in his fucking prime in my opinion. But like you'll see, like last game he went 0 for 9 for 3. You weren't seeing that a couple years ago. Like he was literally peak. Like I'm dropping 30 on your head every game. I don't care if I'm not playing.
But this man can probably miss every 3 for the rest of his career, and he's still the best shooter of all time.
100%.
Like that's how good this guy is.
Just think, I don't know how many seasons Ray Allen played, but just think Curry's in like his 13th season, and he already passed Ray Allen. If you go and look at his stats on how many 3-pointers he takes a year, he takes like this season he took 753s in the regular season. Last year it was like 810.
Crazy.
If you go to his most, it was like 850. Like he takes and he hits at like a 42%.
It's ridiculous.
Mark.
I don't think it's going to be a long time before we see another guy that can at the what's the word I'm looking for? At the like the amount he takes his threes and hits the percentage he hits at. I don't think we will see this for a long time because
I don't think so either.
But going back to the him being in the all-time talk, if he wins this finals MVP, it just has to be. As much as you can hate Curry, it has to be somewhat in the conversation of the best point guard of all time.
His accolades already, right? He's got 3 titles. He's got over 3,000 threes made, 550 threes made in the playoffs alone, right?
It's ridiculous.
8-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, 1 being a unanimous, and they were back-to-back. 8 All-NBA. He was a steals champ in the 15-16 season.
2-time scoring champ.
Yeah.
He's got to be in that best point.
And think about a scoring champ twice during a prime of Kevin Durant, LeBron, like all these guys that you were like, oh shit, they're like even Russ back then was always up there in like points, right? Like those are like the guys you're like, oh, they're gonna be. Like
and
Steph
you ask
Curry
anybody year in and year out, they're probably putting KD and LeBron year in year out over Curry.
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
And this man has just been like I don't want to say under the radar because everyone knows who Steph is and he's one of the most popular players in the world. But it's just it seems like no one knows how good his numbers actually are.
Yeah.
Like how good he's actually been so consistently.
His regular season stats. And remember, he was not good his first couple. Not that he wasn't good, but he wasn't like this his first couple years.
First few years, yeah.
So his regular season stats for his career, 24 points, 4.6 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.7 steals for his career. And then you go to playoffs, almost 27 points, 5.4 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and 1.6 steals.
He's elite.
And like we just said, like the defense hasn't always been there, and the man's still, for his career, averaging 1.7 steals a game. Almost 2 steals a game.
The man's got to be in the conversation. Especially if he wins this, he's definitely got to be in the conversation.
Are they? What's the score now? Ooh. Still third? All right. So this one I thought was a good question to ask, right? Because we see these teams that are trying to build through trading for all these players. So do you think that these finals will finally prove to everybody that building your franchise in the draft is a more consistent and better path to success?
Yes. I think
agree.
we've talked about this in an earlier episode. I think me and Matt were talking about this, where he shits on me for this idea. I'm not going to get into the Knicks, but like this is how a championship team's supposed to be built. You're supposed to have your pieces pretty much set, and then if you need that one extra player,
You go out and get him.
you go out and get them.
Let's if you take a look at the last 4 teams, right? So you got the Warriors, who besides Wiggins are all built up through their draft.
And how'd they get Wiggins? They had assets to go get Wiggins.
Exactly. And then from that side still, you go to the Mavericks, who Luka, he's basically their whole team, right?
He is their
and
whole
that's
team.
through the draft.
Their next big guy is who ends up not even their number 2 anymore, but Kristaps.
Yeah.
Who they've obviously they lost that trade. So I mean, Jalen Brunson, Luka were your guys in this year's playoffs.
Was Brunson originally drafted there? I don't know.
I honestly
That's one
don't
guy
know.
I don't know.
I want to say
they
yes,
just
but I don't
traded
know.
for Christian Wood.
Yeah,
or
they just got
signed
Christian
Wood.
No, they traded. They
traded
gave a
for
haul for him, dude.
Did they? I didn't see what they gave up for him.
Well,
Yeah,
it wasn't like any
Boban.
trade.
They gave a first-round
round
pick,
pick,
Boban, and like 2 other
bro.
players.
2 or 3 other guys. But
Damn,
Then
but
you go to-
Boban's only 18.
you go to the East, right? And you got the Celtics, who that whole team is basically through the draft. Their top 3 players.
And even the one guy they went and got, Kyrie's not even on the team anymore. Like that's what you got to do. There's not a lot of the times you're going to buy your championship unless you really go out and get a guy like LeBron. Like if you go and get a top 3 player in the league, like the Nets could have done, but obviously it didn't work for the Nets. The Nets are supposed to be one of the best teams ever when they constructed the team they have right now.
But
Then,
Miami.
you look at Miami.
Like
It's
that
not,
big
they didn't
3
even,
when they not like now. I'm talking about when LeBron was there. They
Yeah,
bought that. They bought those
that team,
championships.
but you went and got LeBron.
I know
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I know.
But you look at that team now, right? Bam through the draft, Hero through the draft, even like a bunch of their like role players through the draft, and then Jimmy Butler isn't even through like a trade, right? He's like they just signed him.
He signed.
So
Yeah.
it's not like they
Philly
went out
let
and
him walk.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
like throw out a bunch of assets at him. They just went, okay, this guy's free agent.
That's
Let's
how
sign
you're
him.
supposed to do. You're supposed to build your team where, I hate to bring up the Knicks again, but like when I was arguing with Matt about the Knicks, and that's where the Knicks are at the point now. Like, yeah, they're still a below average team, but they're not the Knicks of 3 or 4 years ago. They're not the worst team in the league anymore. They go out and compete now, and they got a couple young pieces. Like R.J. Barrett's been getting better every year.
Mhm.
Every single year, R.J. Barrett's numbers have been overlooked, and he's been, I believe, underrated. And I mean, I could be a biased Knicks fan, but they have some young pieces there that they're building something there, but they're still keeping all their assets. And that's what teams should look to do.
Yeah.
And then that's where it comes to your scouting department, how you develop guys, because not everyone's a LeBron where they average 20 their first year coming into the season. There's a lot of guys you can go look at. Jimmy Butler's the perfect example for this.
First 4 or 5
First
years
4
did nothing.
First 3 years, I don't think he averaged 10.
It's all Tip's fault.
I don't even want to get
All
into that.
If the Celtics lose a series, you think that one of their big 3, who's Tatum, Smart, Brown, you think one of them tries to walk, tries to get traded, anything like that?
No.
Or you think
don't
first
think
year
so.
getting there, they're hungry to come back the next
They're
couple
definitely.
years?
I think they're definitely coming back. I think the Celtics might try to make a move. I don't know who that move would be.
Now,
It might not be a big move. I'm not saying they're going to go get somebody like a KD or somebody like that. No,
Yeah.
but
I don't know if you guys remember, but back when we did our sleeper picks for NBA championships,
picked Boston,
somebody
right?
took Boston. Yes, it was me to win the championship. As at the time they were the 6th seed, I want to say.
I think I picked Chicago. Right?
I think
I
you
picked
did.
Chicago.
I remember. I think I picked like the Lakers.
Yeah.
Now, vice versa with the Warriors, right? So they have their like big 3 per se, right? Keep Wiggins out of it because he wasn't there. So it's Clay, Steph, Draymond. They lose this. Do you think one of them's like, not obviously Steph's not gonna be like
The
"Well, get me
only
outta
one,
here."
the only one out of those 3 guys that I could see leaving, and I think he actually might is Clay.
Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna be on his own. Like, oh, I want to leave. I think
They because they have a lot of. That's another team. They still have young talent that they've like. They got a couple injuries one year when Clay was out and stuff. And
Jordan
Poole. They had
stepped
top,
right in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan Poole. They
Jordan
went and
Poole-
drafted
They don't have Wiseman right now.
Wiseman. They
He's still
drafted
injured.
Jonathan Kuminga. Like they have
Gary Payton.
They have
Yeah.
guys that are like.
And
Yeah,
the thing
if
is,
they develop the right way, but these guys are learning under some of the top players in the league. Like you never know. This Kuminga and Wiseman can come back next year and be one of the top big men in the league.
I
dude,
think
think
he's
about
gonna
it.
be a beast.
They have Looney playing as that 5 now. Instead
Yeah.
of Wiseman. Imagine having Wiseman instead of Looney. Like even though Wiseman isn't like proven or anything, I could see him being like 2 times, 3 times better than
The
Looney
Warriors
right
are
now.
just still in such a good spot where it's like they can go out next year, and even if one of their young guys, like they already proved it with what's his name, with Jordan Poole. That man showed he could ball, bro. They could go out and Clay still has value. They can go out, trade Clay, get more draft pick. And dude, they're set. The Warriors are set for a long time.
What I like about how the people they took was, so they got Jordan Poole, who is a very good offensive player. Not the best defensive player, but still he has good defense. But then they also go out and grab Gary Payton, who is like, he's a Clay defender, like before injury Clay defender, like lockdown. Yeah. Now you got Jordan Poole is going to go out there and score on your head, but he doesn't have to guard. He doesn't have to get tired and guard that one guy. And same with Curry, because they have Gary Payton to come in and do that job for him.
Yeah, and but now they're setting themselves up for the future even more, where just in case, let's say Clay has a change of heart, he's like, all right, I want to be the guy on this team. You know what I mean? Like, but now they have a guy. They're like, hey, we have trust in this guy becoming the next Clay. Maybe he doesn't become the next Clay in quote unquote, but like he fills that spot. You know what I mean? Like they have young guys on a great team that could still step up and have the potential to step up and be that next person in line. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're learning under some of the greatest players and winning championships. Like they're learning a winning way while not having that big of a role yet.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy one, wise one. Because I think in this series, the finals now, I think that's where the Celtics messed up. That was their best shot, was Robert Williams going against Kevin Looney. Yeah. With Wiseman being out. And I just feel like the advantage was not taken.
Yeah, they didn't take advantage of that.
Because I think Robert Williams is a pretty beast big man.
He's good. I just think the Warriors are too good of a team. They're that good. I think we all talk. I think me and David talked about this. We might have talked about it on the podcast too. Like in the beginning of the season, that the Warriors can come out and win the finals again. Like they didn't just disappear because they had they had a bad year last year or the year before or whatever. Like they're still those guys, dude. Like
I can't believe they're actually about to win again.
All right. A little off the topic of the finals for this year, but still talking about like championships. You think the Lakers championship window with LeBron is gone, or you think they still have a chance?
God, I hope so.
I think they still have a chance. I think if Anthony Davis is the Anthony Davis of like not even like the beginning of his career, but even just like 2020 Anthony Davis, 2019 Anthony Davis.
Do you see the thing? He hasn't picked up a basketball since like April.
So
wouldn't you be concerned if you're the front office?
I don't think so. I think it's what, June? Say he starts ramping back up now. Wow, voice crack.
It's not like he played all year last season though, to where he's like, all right, I'll rest for a couple months. Man was out basically the whole season.
He's not just gonna lose it though. We all know that.
But
just to jump on that
I
point,
would be worried.
I think Anthony Davis is one of the top talents in the league, but I do agree with you, Joey, saying I would be a little bit worried because I don't think Anthony Davis has that mindset. Like, let's say the Jimmy Butler mindset. Like, Jimmy Butler's that guy. Like, Jimmy Butler, talent-wise, is probably not even top 15 in the league, straight talent. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Butler's a dog, though. Like, he's going to go out there. He's going to go out there. He's going to give you a bucket, and he's not going to give you an easy bucket. Yeah. Like, he's going to go out there, and he's going to compete every single minute of every single game he's playing.
Yeah. He's got that work ethic, too. Like, even like Ja, like you saw Ja was right back into the gym. Like, Anthony Davis not picking up a ball since April, I feel like he's not going to have that mindset to when the season comes back around to where he's going to get I don't know. So, it would just worry me that something's going to fall off.
I just think that team is built the complete wrong way, especially in today's 100%. NBA.
I also think it depends on what kind of player LeBron decides to think he is next year. Because LeBron could definitely still be like a 1B to Anthony Davis's 1A. But I don't think LeBron can go out like he used to, the 2018 finals where, like, that team had nobody but him. Yeah. Like, he's not that guy anymore. He's still LeBron, but he is not that LeBron anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It also depends on what kind of Russell Westbrook we get next year.
Yeah.
I don't think Russell is that bad that the way he performed this year.
Well, they already said Russell Westbrook's going to be in a Laker uniform next year because they even said they're not trading a first-round pick attached to Russell Westbrook to get rid of his contract. Yeah. And no one's trading for Russell Westbrook without taking a pick on because his contract is atrocious.
If he
so they really need.
If you just look he still was the Russ of I'm getting 10 boards, I'm getting all these assists. No, he just couldn't get the shots to fall. If he figures that out, they're gonna be good.
I think that goes more towards the way the team was built. They can't really spread the floor as much as other teams. Like they don't have They don't have. It's not Russ and 3 or 4 other shooters. Like
Yeah.
LeBron, he could shoot a little bit. He's not a great
AD's
3-point
the same
shooter.
way, too.
AD could shoot a little bit, not a great 3-point shooter.
Their best
You
3-point
could shrink
shooter was what's his name, Malik Monk.
Yeah, as a
And, like,
defensive team, as when you're playing against them, you could shrink the floor a little bit because they have LeBron, AD who could really score in the paint. Russ could really score in the paint, but when teams are expecting that, and especially as a point guard who's one of these smaller guys on the court, it's going to be hard to get a basket over some of these big guys that can camp in the paint a little bit, sit around and guard that paint a little bit more because they don't really have shooters around.
Now, say I'm gonna go back a little bit here. Say the Warriors decide, let's go get some assets for Clay. I think the Lakers are a good fit for Clay. I think
They'd
that
be
helps them.
perfect fit
that
for
helps
Clay.
them spread the floor so
That
much.
would be because LeBron can play any position, so you can have him run the point again. That would be a perfect position for Clay. In a perfect world, Clay on the Lakers with that main part of that team would be insanely perfect for them. Improves their defense.
Improves
and-
their outside shooting.
And now you have
the
a guy.
spreading of
Now
the
you have a
floor.
guy. Yeah, exactly. Now you have one of the probably the one B to Curry,
Yeah,
who's
exactly,
been
yeah.
another guy who's been. If you look at his numbers, he's one of the best shooters of all time too.
That was
Like
you
if
know,
they didn't
like-
get drafted to the same team, Clay could have potentially been like Curry.
Oh yeah, I think with a little less playmaking, like,
Yeah,
I think Curry's
obviously.
more shifty and stuff like that. But Clay's jump shot is like what you see in like if there was like a book on how to take a jump shot, like
That's what
Clay's
you're-
jump shot is perfect. Like it's like literally perfect.
honestly, it would be cool to see like Clay go somewhere else, so then that fan's not kicked out of the arena. You see that whole thing?
Oh my
Big
god,
Clay.
He
that
got
was-
got
You know
banned
who that
for
is?
life.
Dawes?
Yeah,
The YouTuber.
he's banned
that was
for life.
so funny. And did
But
you
now
ever, did
Clay
you see
goes
the full
somewhere else, he
video
can
of
do it
him
again.
like
How he
walk-
got in?
Dude,
he
he
didn't
literally
even
walked-
try to stop.
They
him.
didn't
He-
check his ID or anything. He walked
And it's
right
not
in.
like, banning him. I get it. It's like a big deal, like secure. But
But
that's
your
your
se- your
own
security.
security. It's not like he went through a back door, crawled
Yeah,
through the bleachers,
exactly.
and somebody
Like
jumped.
he had some like
He
fake
walked
ID.
in,
Like
he took a couple
with
of
a
jumpers.
cameraman.
And with a cameraman, took a couple of jumpers. As soon as they told him to leave, what'd he do? He walked
Yeah.
out. He didn't do any. Okay, I could understand like throwing
There
a
was
fine
no
on him or
tr-
something,
yeah,
but
there
like
was no
the man had
trouble at all.
Nah.
He paid $10K for his tickets too.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have courtside tickets, bro.
Did
He
you see
paid
what
10K
Clay
for
said about it?
tickets. No, I didn't see it.
I forgot what the exact quote was, but it was something about like do something stupid, like something stupid. I gotta
Yeah,
find it.
it's like
I
do
get,
something-
but I get it. You're not supposed, but
I
like
thought Clay would be cool with it. Dude, Clay's been pissing me off this playoffs. I'll tell you that.
I mean,
he's got a chip on his shoulder
like I
from
said,
these 2 injuries.
He's
I
been-
kind of
I don't know.
understand. I
He's been bitching
kind
a
of
lot.
understand the ban, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like it would have been completely different if it was like he was sitting courtside and just jumped off his seat.
Yeah.
He
When I-
literally walked through security. It's not like he
The
was
first thing
hiding or anything. He walked right through security. That's your security's problem, not his problem.
Dude, the first thing I saw about it was like them like taking him out of a game. Like I don't know if it was he was allowed in the stadium and then they kicked him out like mid game, or if this was like a past game that like they ended up kicking him out of once. But it was just like them taking him out of his seats and like it was just like this tiny little clip. So I was like, did he like during shoot around just like hop on the court when Clay went in like to the locker room? And like that's what I thought. And then they show that and it's just like he literally just walks through security, walks through
Yeah.
the whole thing. Everyone thinks he's Clay. I'm like, that is not his fault.
Yeah, and it's not
Like, he shouldn't have done it, but
and
that's
it's
not
like
his
he
fault.
did anything like yes. Don't get me wrong. It is stupid what he did. Like you obviously know you're not supposed to be on the court, but it's not like he went there and was joking around like a little kid, like doing stupid like stuff,
Yeah.
trying to sneak in the locker room and stuff, and take a picture with Curry shoes or doing something. He literally walked in the court, took a couple jump shots, and then
just-
got kicked out.
yeah.
Like even the
And not even,
security
like, kicked
lady,
out.
like,
They were like, "You gotta go," and he's like,
Yeah.
"I know."
Yeah,
And he
The
just, like, walked
security
out with
lady
them.
was like,
she
cool.
laughed. She slapped him because he made a joke.
Yeah.
She laughed. Like I think the whole ban thing is a little over the top. I can understand slapping a big fine on him.
Yeah,
being like,
and he wouldn't
yeah.
even have cared about that because the dude's rich. He's
yeah. I think they went a little over the top with the ban.
friends
Like
with Vinjay.
I think they kind of. I think they kind of tried to save their own asses.
Yeah,
Show like their you should be looking at your security more
Yeah.
rather than maybe checking these guys' passes a little more. Like I understand when you see Curry or Clay walk in, your security team's not going to be.
I wouldn't be
questioning them, but-
surprised if he's gotten emails from them like, "Take the video down," because it's showing how bad their security was that day. Like I wouldn't
that
be
was
surprised.
horrible. That was horrible. And I can understand from a player being kind of pissed because like you get a crazy guy. Let's say he's a YouTuber just trying to be funny and stuff. But you get a crazy guy that looks like Clay. He could have walked in there and done something really
And
stupid.
then
You know
Clay
what I mean?
got fucking
Yeah.
like, pounded for it. All right. think that's going to wrap it up. I do think that LeBron and them could still win a championship.
I mean,
I think
I'll
they
never,
only have like 2 years.
I'll never count LeBron out, but
Me
I think
neither.
that team is just built the wrong.
Well, they had a bunch of guys on 1-year contracts, so like all those like old guys should, in hindsight, be out of there this year. I think they have to go more towards like a younger team, which is hard because you're not getting a bunch of these younger guys that are off contracts right now.
Yeah.
You know,
It's gonna be tough for them, but I mean, when you have LeBron on your team, you can figure something out.
yeah.
You're
And if he
already-
stays healthy too.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode, boys. Dude, I haven't done this in so long. Holy shit! What do I say again?
Damn, I can't find this thing on.
TikTok, Twitter. I don't even remember what the things are. Go Talk, the email. Fuck, there's no.
You
there's
know
no
it by now,
whiteboard.
boys and girls.
You go
Talk
back to an
Cast,
old
the
episode, look at
email.
it, whatever. Like, comment,
TikTok
subscribe.
is goat_talk with 2 Ks. The Twitter is Go Talk Podcast, no T.
Yeah. But someone remembers.
I'm trying to find this Clay thing, but I'm not gonna be able to find
Yeah,
it.
we can
So
talk about it in a minute. Yeah, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.
Peace.